This is absolutely humongous. Hello Electroheads, I'm in the land of the free, the home of the brave and the big. Talking about cars, I mean. Now, I am used to being in my own bubble in London when I see a 4x4 Land Rover bombing it around the city, and I'm just thinking how unnecessary it is for it to be there. And then you come to America. I mean, I'm in Los Angeles this week, and you realise just how humongous the cars are here. It truly is a world of the supersize, but I do actually have quite a big car with me today, but one I can be slightly more forgiving to because it is a large SUV, but it's built for purpose. And in fact, it's one of the first EVs made as a purpose-built 6 and 7-seater to cater to bigger families and for those who require a lot of cargo space. A whopping 2,232 litres, in fact, with all the passenger seats folded down, or 828 litres with the third row seats folded. There are 2 seating configurations available. You need to go for the top spec GT Line S to get a 6-seater, which is the one that I have today. Otherwise, the 7-seater is available as standard to all 3 trims with a max range claim of 349 miles. This is so big. Now granted, I am driving this solo today, which I appreciate makes me a total hypocrite. However, there is a theme here, particularly in America, where bigger is better, and I do think that we are adopting that more and more in the UK, and I would like to argue that maybe that shouldn't always be the case. Firstly, the size of roads. So when the motor car was first introduced in the UK, which was just before the 1900s, those cars were pretty piddly compared to what we have today. Now, cars are of course growing in size, but the roads, it's very difficult to make them grow, and there's obviously a lot of issues that come with that also. It's not particularly pedestrian friendly in America compared to, well, I mean, the UK. There is so much expanse in the US. You can walk a mile here and really not get that far. But now, granted, there are pedestrianised areas in America. I am being very generalist here. And if you do live in one of those areas, then give it a shout out, drop me a comment down below and let me know where you are, because I'd love to hear from you. But secondly, it's all about safety. Now, the thing is, as cars have gotten bigger, they've gotten heavier, they've also gotten more dangerous. So say if somebody was to unfortunately go into me, then yeah, of course, I would want to have a vehicle that felt able to basically protect me if such an awful thing were to happen. Now, the Kia EV9 has gotten a really good NCAP rating, the toppest rating it can get of 5 stars. And that is really encouraging for owners and families who want to use a car like this. But we mustn't also forget about other more vulnerable road users like cyclists and pedestrians, because if you get hit by one of these, you're not making it out alive. As you can see here, I'm driving on the LA freeway, which you do a speed of 65 miles per hour. There's multiple lanes to make sure that all the traffic, all the vehicles have ample space to get through and get to the destination, because this is a big place and people want to get there as easily and most conveniently as possible. But one thing I have noticed is also the speeds that people go at in the more kind of suburban areas. Now, down in LA, in the kind of city bit where there are pedestrians, the speed limit's a little bit more like 35 miles per hour. Now, me coming from London, I'm quite used to like 20 mile per hour roads. And that in itself has been implemented because 20 miles per hour can also do a good bit of damage if you hit a pedestrian at that top speed. So 35 miles per hour, driving in these behemoths. I mean, this alone is over 2,500 kilograms in weight. So just the idea that you're driving at 35 miles per hour around pedestrians is just a little bit frightening for me, I have to say. Oh man, but I can't deny this car feels so nice to drive. Honestly, I'm just really conflicted by this car. And you think as well, with roads being much larger, that there would be less traffic, but actually, quite the opposite happens, particularly here in Los Angeles, which is known for its terrible, terrible traffic jams. There's actually a really great book that I love. It's called Happy City, and it goes way deeper into basically the effects of urban sprawl, which is something that we see a lot here in America, something that hasn't happened so much in the UK because there isn't as much land mass But it really does have such an effect on people, because if you're driving more, if you're spending more time in your car, which people are these days because they're living further out, it just means that there is actually a lot more underlying stress that is going through and around your body. Look at this road though. I mean, I can't lie, this is really beautiful and definitely not stressful. Sorry, I'm trying to be serious here with some serious issues to talk about, but oh God, this car's really fun. It's really fun. Oh my God, okay. Did the police just put their sirens on? That guy nearly skidded into me. That was mental. Did you see that? Well, I'm glad the police were right there. Maybe the police were chasing him. Must have been. Whew. All right, well, that's a bit of action, isn't it? But actually, it has to be said with Los Angeles, when you see the road quality, like generally, there are some really bad bits, like when I've been here before, where I can almost empathize with why people have these kind of monster truck style vehicles with this insane suspension, because you kind of need it so you don't get your vehicle scratched up. Parking these giants is also another thing. Now, it's obviously fine if you're somebody who lives in the countryside and has a really big driveway. However, if you're like me and you live in London, well, parking one of these baddies is, well, it's a bit of a nightmare really, because you'll be looking around for an available lamppost so you can do your public charging, and you'll just pray to God, if it's available, that the parking space is actually big enough. And then you've got to do a parallel park with that thing. You can even get smart parking for most new electric cars these days. I mean, Kia do it as well, which basically means that it takes the ag out of parking these huge vehicles, even if they do have that 360 coverage or the kind of the rear cameras, front cameras. They are just, well, they're just very big to park. I mean, it's okay because I'm on this huge street here in Los Angeles. It's kind of built for that. But less so in the UK. However, I can't help but be impressed by the EV9's capabilities when it comes to how spacious and comfortable it is in here, particularly as a 6-seater. I mean, this could almost be a living room, and compared to London prices, I think this probably costs about the same as the price of a London living room. In the 6-seater, everybody gets ample room. There's charge ports for each passenger. The EV9 also has vehicle to load, which basically means that you can use this car as a moving battery pack, say if you want to go camping and you want some extra comfort, or there is a plug in the back here that you can use to plug your laptop straight into the car. So if you're charging up, you can get some work done. The center console also doubles up as extra storage and usage for your second row passengers. You get a nice tray that pulls out here, which you can use to put some food on with extra storage space. These particular ones don't do it. However, a 180 swivel seat option is also available, so these second row seats can completely turn around. Plus, there's a lot of eco-friendly materials that have been used here, and Kia love to shout about it. There's even a relaxation mode for the 2 front seats here, so when you're charging, you can recline and scroll. But this is the thing, because we have increased car usage, which means even more traffic jams, our cars have become a second home now more than ever. Now, on the topic of traffic, because it's quite a prevalent one here in Los Angeles. I mean, even when we landed at LAX airport, it took us 40 minutes, and I'm not even joking you, to get out from the 4th level of the car park down to the exit. 40 minutes. We were just sat in the car crawling, just waiting to get out. And then that was just such a stark reminder of what was to come. In a place like this, you do end up just spending a lot of time sitting in your car, whether it's being in traffic or needing to go somewhere, because this is a really big place. And actually, I have seen footage of when there's been a school run in America, and there has been genuinely miles of cars in traffic just waiting to pick up their kids. And you see comments underneath, like I've seen this on Instagram before, and there are comments like, oh, well, why don't the kids just walk home? Why don't they? Because there aren't any pavements. Like, there are literally not any pavements for the kids to be able to walk home. So people have to come and pick up their kids. I mean, it's a whole different mentality here. And it just means that we are spending more and more time in our cars because of these choices of how the city's been built. And in fact, it's something just really important to talk about. I truly do feel conflicted about a vehicle like this, because I think it looks really good, even though it is a block of a car. I think it
really is fun to drive. I can't deny that. And it offers so much in terms of what a driver and its passengers would want in a car. And particularly with that cargo space, it can store so much in there as well. But it is just a humongous vehicle, isn't it? And we can't forget that. I mean, these cars are just becoming more and more oversized, but it does have reason for it, because we do need 7-seaters, and it is broadening the market of electric vehicles because we are still quite constricted with what is available, although it is quite a pricey option. So as you can see, conflicted, but I've had a really great day, and there are some seriously loud motorbikes coming up here. Let's just wait for those to finish. Anyway, I know this is a little bit of a different video compared to normal. It's not quite a car review in a sense, but I thought it was definitely a topic that needs to be discussed because I'm here in America. It's my first time driving this humongous vehicle. And yeah, there are conflicted feelings around it. But what do you guys think at home? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And come along for the ride for the next one with Electroheads. Ciao.